Know this before buying or renting in the Philippines. I have a much more in-depth version of this on my membership site on the two levels. On the higher level on the membership site, if you are interested. Lots of other videos on the membership site where I go in depth into medical, dental, real estate, number of other issues as well. So anyway, let's get into this story. Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Unit owner complains against condo's high power bills. And going to get into some of the details. I'm a little bit familiar with this building. And anyway, let's get into the article first. And I'll tell you a little bit about my own experience in a building owned by the same people. A unit owner of a condominium building has sought the intervention of Cebu City Hall over what he described as excessive electrical fees being collected by the building's management following a power outage in February. In an interview on Sunday, May 4th, the complainant, who requested anonymity, said the Cebu Ultima residences along Osmeña Boulevard, they're up on Fuente Osmeña traffic circle area, and they've got Crown Regency. I think the same people own Crown Regency. A King family, I believe, experienced a power outage on February 5th that lasted for about 3 days. Can you imagine that? Right in the middle of Cebu City Business District, you've got a power outage that lasts 3 days. Wow. A generator, I thought they had a generator in that building. Apparently, if they did, it didn't work. A generator was later provided, but only powered one of the building's 6 elevators. The complainant further said that a week after the outage, the building's board of directors asked unit owners to contribute a total of $120,000 to purchase a large generator. I've done several videos inside of Crown or Club Ultima. Very nice, most of them multi-level, two-level loft type. And I think Club Ultima is an international brand. They've got a number of hotels and condominiums around the world. And if you buy one, you get to use, and this is Crown Regency. They've got you can walk around the edge with a safety belt on. You can ride around on a car that tilts out over there. I think they're just going to start some of that right back up. Anyway, these are Crown Regency towers, I believe, and then Club Ultima right there in the middle. Horizon 101 condominiums there on the left, 55 stories, I think. Anyway, if you had 10 total owners that were responsible in that building, 120,000, that would be 12,000 pesos a piece. If you had 20 owners, it would be 6,000 pesos, a little over 100 US dollars. Might be worth making the investment, but yeah, I mean, they've already either rented one or bought one, but it's too small, so I'm really not sure the details there. It's something to be, definitely has to be solved. Anyway, the complainant said the new generator has not provided a stable power supply and is frequently affected by fluctuations. It was also placed at the main entrance and exit of the building, which has raised safety concerns among residents. The complainant said his monthly electric bill has surged to more than $10,000 compared to his usual bill of $2,500. He said the rising costs are a financial burden, especially as a retiree relying on his pension. They keep collecting money, but the money, they say, is just not enough, the complainant told the Sun Star. I have been doing videos on my Amazing Philippines YouTube channel since 2016, and dozens of those videos are real estate related. I always carried a camera. The real estate guys in the malls would grab me and say, "Come and look at my condominium." And then I walk a lot, and I'll stop in different properties, condos, and I'll ask, "Do you have any units I can view and get the details, how much they rent for, buy, that type of thing?" And I'll put them up on my channel. Anyway, over the years, I have met 3 or 4 owners who have told me that, well, I'm selling. I bought one in particular. They bought a couple units in new towers. There's like I think 4 towers. This one particular development, and they bought a couple of units to rent out studios in the new tower, and they said that there's too many problems with the tower that she had 1 or 2 in, and I never found out exactly what the issues were. But a Filipino was having problems and deciding to sell one unit and buy in another tower instead. Apparently assured that the developer is doing a better job on the construction side or maintenance side. Not sure what the issue was, but the point being, you need to do your due diligence, find out, do some research on the developer, and going forward. The real estate company, management company that I spoke with and got the list of places for sale and rent. Developer of the Cebu Ultima Residences and also Crown Regency, I believe, not absolutely 100%, said in a separate interview on Sunday that Visayan Electric disconnected the power supply to the building when the homeowners failed to settle $2.6 million unpaid dues. I said because there are so many units for sale and therefore those people are not paying their dues and or electric bills. Don't know. She said the homeowners owed the developer $1.6 million worth of fuel since the aftermath of Typhoon Odette in December 2021. The reason why use of the gen set was disconnected. Yeah, we had a super typhoon in December 16th, 17th of 2021, and I experienced it. And yeah, we were without electricity much of 2 weeks, I believe. We have a 100% backup generator, but everybody ran out of fuel, and the fuel was prioritized to hospitals, government, the higher end places. I think hotels and that had a lot more money than this group apparently. Now they have their own genset placed in front of the building, which is a fire hazard, Bernardo pointed out. Bernardo said the building has been handled by a BOD since 2018, which tapped Collier International Philippines to manage the property. She said she suggested to the BOD that the developer resume operations to resolve the issue, but the offer was declined. BOD is Board of Directors. BOD is the Board of Directors. So anyway, to be without electricity, that's just ridiculous. That's just crazy. I follow, when I have time, which isn't that often, but I follow a few groups on Facebook and other forums. If you do searches, and not too long ago, somebody asked about that they're going to live in the province. Every place is in a province in the Philippines, but when you say the province, you generally mean outside of the medium to larger size cities, and that's the province, the countryside, basically. Going to live in the province. You got more brownouts, electricity going off. So he was asking about advice about solar and generator sets and battery backups. What are the best brands and how do you go about it and the costs, all that type of thing. And many people giving advice. Some people didn't have a clue, but still tried to give advice. Others who were pretty knowledgeable, and they were either electricians or air conditioning servicemen and slash electricians, so they're familiar with setting up solar, or they worked in the solar industry. And it's interesting. In the end, if you're going to do that, you want to do it right. And if I owned a house, even in the city, I would want some kind of backup, whether that would definitely be some solar, some solar, some battery, and then you would have to. I'm not an electrician. I would have to hire somebody knowledgeable to kind of put all that stuff together, so we can monitor it so it didn't screw things up. Surge protector I think is important here. You'll get different surges. A few nights ago, we had our electric go off and on, a couple different times, real quick. And as fast as I could, I went and unplugged my computer. Sometimes, if I have time, I'll unplug the refrigerator so when the electric comes back on, it doesn't get that real hard surge. But yeah, a surge protector might be a good idea if you're going to be here for a while and you've got expensive appliances. I know that and I've had friends that come here for many many months, and one recently said, "I just finally took a place. I was tired of looking," and that happens. And fortunately, I think he's relatively happy with this place. But if you don't like the first place I took, I looked at like five or I think six different places, and yeah, I finally got tired of it, so I picked the best one in my opinion of the places. wasn't that good. Wasn't really what I exactly didn't check all the boxes. In fact, it was didn't it had a real nice roof deck, which I really liked. Look out over the and jog up there. But very, very small, limited. They say fully furnished means lots of different things to lots of different people. So I end up buying a lot of my own pots and pans and different things, more than I really had to. But you can get a set of pans for decent set for about the price if you start buying one of this and one of that. Decent sets cost just as much, but and still have that stuff, still lasting. So it's been a good investment. But yeah, ask the people in a subdivision if you're renting a house or in the area about water reliability, about electrical reliability. How often are the brownouts? Condominiums. What about bugs? If you have time to hang out in the lobby, try to talk to a few people coming and going out of the place. I know a lot of people just want to sign a lease and get moved in and get situated, but you can see here, and this is similar to a video I did a couple months ago, San Remo down by SM Mall. The land, what was it? Land traders. There's a land masters, but there's land traders who I think shut off electricity to like three of their four or five different condominiums because payment wasn't being done to Vico. Well, they weren't going to pay it, and I've done I think two different videos about that. So we have this Club Ultima. I like the place. I've done I think three or four different videos in there, and came very close to renting a place, but the people didn't want to negotiate, bring the price down where I thought it was reasonable. Anyway, crazy, crazy story. Thanks for coming along. Stay safe, safe travels, and we'll see you in the next video.